everything. Well, y'all knew that I was supposed to say that everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. I don't know why the heck it cut off. I wasn't paying attention. Good evening, everybody. How are y'all doing? We are just going to talk for maybe like an hour or so. I don't want to be on here too long. I know a lot of people have been talking about this today. I know I posted a video about it already, but I just wanted to see how you guys were feeling about it. How are y'all feeling about this move? We're going to discuss it. We're going to look at a few things. We're going to talk about this hoodie, LA. This is Knight's Law. I learned about Knight's Law watching Crime, Lines, and Lies. Brooks had a man on there whose daughter was affected by a PDF file. So I bought this in support. It took me a while because I finally got the channel's P.O. box together and I wanted to wait until it was ready, so I'd have to give out my personal information. And it came in about a week or so ago. I'll have a video out next week all about Knight's Law because it's really important. It's legislature. It's trying to get laws out there that will protect people from these people. Okay? We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. It is comfy. I like it, actually. Very comfortable. I'm in a sweatshirt in Texas because I purposely have the air conditioner turned down enough for me to be able to wear this today. I wanted to wear it today. And it was great, Chief. We always end up going to Chili's. I'm trying to find your thing again, but I know that you asked earlier. We always go to Chili's so he can get his cake pizza and his Blue Lagoon. What you call it? Blue Lagoon fizzy drink, something like that. Yeah. In case you guys are wondering what I'm blabbing on about, today was date night with my kids. I take turns one at a time. Today was my youngest son's, and he likes the Chili's cake pizza, which is actually kind of cool because as soon as we got into the parking lot, there's like a building towards the back, and all of a sudden we saw like 13 raccoons running away, and I was like, oh, this is crazy. And my son's never seen a raccoon in real life, so he just got to see like 13 raccoons all scurrying away. It was funny. I was like, oh, come on, we gotta run. We gotta go run and watch the raccoons. It was funny. It was fun. Let me see. Thank you for the gifted memberships, Tara. I don't know if you meant to do 3 of them because I saw you say something like, oh, it finally worked. And so I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. But congratulations to those of you that ended up getting a membership. That was very sweet. I did see y'all also mentioning this. I did see this, and I see some of you haven't seen it. I'm just going to say now, a sleeve and a sheath are the exact same thing. Steve does these word games. So I think he's really just trying to get people to look into more stuff. But the way that he described it is how we've already been told. Under Maddie, on that side of Maddie, pretty much like under her leg area. That's pretty much, he didn't say anything different. He just said it differently than what we've been used to hearing it, I guess. Something like that. So yeah, I'm telling you, I counted them. 13 of them little things scurrying away. It's actually funny because there's like a whole bunch of stray cats back there too, and they all just hang out together. There was like, I don't know, like 7 or 8 stray cats of all different colors, and then this huge, just like ginormous group of raccoons all like hanging around. Well, the leg part is the part that I feel like is normal too, because we pretty much kind of heard that. I feel like we that's pretty much how it was like alluded to. It was on that side of her body under a comforter and stuff. I mean, that just, yeah, like I remember like making sort of like a diagram sort of, and I remember putting it sort of like underneath where her leg was. So that, to me, that's the same thing. I have no problem pulling up the News Nation interview and going over it. If you guys have not seen that and you want to know like what people are talking about, we can totally play that. I hope you're doing okay in that hurricane. I was watching the news while I was sitting at Chili's with him, and they had a man in the middle of NOLA talking about the hurricane, and his little skinny self was about to just get flown away. Like he dropped the microphone, it flew out of his hand, and he's sitting there like legs haunched and trying to just like hold on. And I'm like, okay, we can know about the hurricane without you being in the hurricane, sir. Please go in a building. I don't know why they still putting people in danger. It's crazy. Crazy. Missed it. Okay, good. Missed it. You missed the eye of the storm. Yeah. I wasn't expecting it to get up to a Cat 2. I figured it was going to hit it a 1. Hopefully it's almost over. Yeah, like there was a comforter situation. I don't remember ever hearing arm. We can totally go back and check though. I'm fine with, I know a lot of people are questioning that because, Steve likes to do this crap. So I have no problem. I have no problem going back and checking that out. Right? Like what? You got a death wish, bro. Like New Orleans has already been horrible with hurricanes. Why you want to tempt your luck? Insane. I know, just use the radar. Like just put a robot out there and talk over it, voice over. It's 2024. Crazy. Crazy. Okay. I haven't done too much digging because Kohberger has not been moved yet. I'm going to show you guys right here. I checked the roster. Let me see if I can get my thing situated. Because a lot of people were thinking that maybe they waited until Thursday to release the information because they wanted to like move him ahead of time, because they're not going to tell us when they're going to move him for safety reasons. Like I mentioned in my little video, in case y'all hadn't seen it, they don't tell you when they're planning on moving somebody so that nobody on the outside that has anything against that person does anything cray-cray. And they also don't tell anybody anything so that the person that's moving can't plan anything either, because the person that's moving does not get told they're moving until their ass is literally getting taken out of the cell and put in holding, waiting for the transport. For real. They've got like 3 minutes to get whatever they need to get, and they're getting transferred. There's no like heads up or nothing. It's for safety concerns. Let me finish getting this in here. Yeah. Kohberger and judge. Okay. Save and show. I needed to put that on there. Okay. See, he's still here. He's still very much at Latah County. So once he gets moved, I don't know if this is going to be the way that it looked whenever my stupid ex and all the stuff I had to keep watching for wherever they were doing with him. I know whenever they would move him around or he was getting out, it wouldn't say Chief in the tunnels. Always on the tunnels. They would never tell me anything ahead of time, and it wouldn't say like in transfer or anything like that. Just suddenly the statuses would go like blank. So these also update after midnight. I would suggest if you want to keep an eye on it, like I am going to be keeping an eye on it, refresh it after midnight or just like in the morning. It's not going to refresh again. I mean, it might, but it normally doesn't. I know that's how at least it works here. That's how at least works here. So they're not going to say anything, but for now, for sure, he's still right here. He's still very much right here in Latah County. He hasn't moved anywhere yet. You should pull up Wall versus State of Idaho. It's an appeal request that was dismissed, but it addressed issues present in Bryan's case. I'll keep that in mind. Let me actually write that down. I'm going to show y'all some stuff that Sleuthy Goosey found and posted on Twitter. Because like I said, I wasn't really trying to like dig too much into this dude just yet because it just happened. And I usually don't do anything deep diving wise during the week too much because of work and everything. It's usually on the weekend. She pulled up some stuff, and people are like not too impressed about who he was as a lawyer. But I don't really know if people are really complaining too much about him being a judge. Like I'm hearing people describe him as a lawyer as basically being an ambulance chaser, which I'm not impressed with. So we shall see. So I wanted to show you guys. This is the judge's actual directory page. It doesn't show anything special. It's just the directory page. But he does have a YouTube, bro. Let me get this out of the way. So I don't know if we gonna be streaming on this or not, because there's nothing here. Like, it doesn't even have like anything like the way that Judges does, where it shows at least like videos, lives, or whatever, and then it's blank. There's nothing. And it wasn't just made either by some psychopath. It's been, because you know how people be, it's been here since May of 2020. So I don't know if this is just made for nothing or what's going to happen. I don't know. I have no idea. Okay. So then I want to show you guys this. This is a video of him talking with Nate Inton. This is Bryan Inton's brother, correct? Pretty positive that's who this dude is. He's the guy that did a lot of stuff with the Dylan Rounds case, talked to the parents quite a bit. I know I'm touching my hair a lot, guys, because my hoodie is like messing with this and like pushing this and it's getting on my nerves. So we're going to listen to this real quick because this is him so that you can kind of get an idea about his mannerisms, the way he talks. Some people say he looks familiar. He does look sort of familiar, but I don't know from where. He honestly sort of looks like a CSI Miami or CSI whatever TV show guy. Like when I see his face, I see this certain actor in like a suit on like a TV show, but I can't figure out exactly where. So we're going to go ahead. Isn't this him? Because I could be wrong. Oh, it's Eaton. Nate Eaton. This whole time I've been thinking they brothers. That tells you how stupid I can be. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and watch this so y'all can get like an idea about how this guy is.
I'm Nate Eaton outside the Ada County Courthouse. We're here with Judge Steve Hippler. He is the administrative judge over the 4th District, which encompasses Ada County. Judge, let me just ask you, what have you guys been doing to...
The fact that he's sitting there with them pursed lips like my little nephew sits around looking like all day with the little same bald head. I'm sorry. I see my little nephew right here.
Prepare for such a big, prominent trial.
So we've been cooperating and working closely with Madison Fremont County Administration and all of our justice partners here, the clerk's office, the sheriff's office, the trial court administrator, other agencies, city police, others, to ensure that we have the resources and we have the bandwidth to be able to put on a trial like this. It's not the trial itself that's particularly difficult. We have big trials here all the time. It's the media interest and the degree to which you all
noticed he's concerned about having the bandwidth. That tells me that he knows they got to show this stuff. Now, I'm thinking, if I'm remembering correctly, you guys said that Lori Vallows was just audio. I'm hoping that's not the case here. But I'd like to know exactly, right? He does look like a TV guy. Oh, you look like a TV guy? He does look like one, right? I just can't figure it out. I can't figure it out. Me too. I want transparency on this case more than anything. More than anything. So while I know that like a lot of people are looking up cases that have been ruled over by him to see how he judges, how he sets down punishments and stuff like that, we also need to keep in mind here that he's not making decisions when it comes to guilt or death penalty. So while I know that it's very important to know a lot of things about this guy, it's really only about like the pre-trial motions, right? Because everything else when it comes to what's going to happen here is me and you, just people that live in this county. So he's not making choices. He's not making decisions on anything when it comes to the trial. He is making decisions on how the trial will proceed, which is important. So I really just want to know about his process. I just want to know about his process.
Are needing to cover this that causes more issues in terms of securing the jury from that kind of influence, as well as to just make sure everybody can do their job appropriately. So it's.
I have issues with this statement because Judge technically has seen more evidence on certain things, I guess, than the defense has, because there was this in-camera review for the IGG information and he got to cherry pick what was allowed to be given over to the defense at first. So he did see a bunch of stuff. But I don't know if he's seen all the other stuff. That's the thing. I don't know, because he wasn't a decider either. He was, again, just the judge. It's still going to be the layman that's making the decision on guilt here. So, I mean, it was odd. I didn't like that. I didn't like it then that he ended up actually having like a little bit more information than the defense, because that's not fair. But I don't know how it's going to go with this guy. I have no clue what's going to go around. Yeah, I think he's talking about Daybell. Let me see, make sure. Yeah, Daybell.
It's really a teamwork effort that we've started, probably a year and a half ago, preparing for.
That far out, because as you mentioned, there is such an interest. And one thing I think a lot of viewers might not realize is this isn't the only thing happening at the courthouse. You've got a lot of other things happening.
Yeah, this is a very busy courthouse. We have almost 40 judges here at any given time.
A lot.
And
40 judges.
27 courtrooms. So we have a lot going on. This week, as an example, I had to ask 3 judges to vacate jury trials they had set for this week, because we simply didn't have enough courtrooms. And that's not unusual. And so that's just how busy we are here at times.
But yeah, y'all see. We don't need to go through all this entire thing because this isn't about this case. But I just wanted y'all to see his demeanor. And he seems pretty chilled out. Like, he doesn't seem like he's too... Oh, he seems level, I guess is how I'm putting it. He seems level. As far as we know, at anything that the state actually was given, whatever it could have been, was handed over to them. I can take this off now. Was handed over to him. And he did an in-camera review, which has nothing at all to do with the camera. So dumb. And yeah, as far as I know, whatever was available, they definitely did. I expect a lot of changes too. I expect a crap ton of changes. I don't think it goes back to square one, but new motions and stuff that have already previously been denied, I wonder if now they can be refiled. That's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if they can refile. See, I need a lawyer in Idaho to answer this question, because the grand jury indictment has already been denied for being like reversed, right, from judge. And then it went to the Supreme Court and they denied the shit too. But what about this guy? Could they refile that? I don't know how that works. I would like to know how that works, because that's a possibility. Yeah, they should have handed over everything from Othram. Hey, Twiz. Yeah, there all must be a lot. 40 judges just in this one spot. He can if it gets filed for. And that's what I asked. I put a poll up here and over on Twitter, and I asked, like, do y'all think that now that we've switched over, that they're going to maybe, and the defense is maybe going to use this as an opportunity to maybe lift the gag order? And some people were like, well, isn't she the one who asked for it? That's stupid. Why would she? I was like, well, if you heard any of the court hearings instead of just reading mainstream media boo-boo, you'd know that she stood up in court plenty of times, definitely more than once, and said that the gag order is hurting Bryan's case. So I think that she might. Because I remember talking about this before, saying there's no reason why the Goncalveses and the defense can't both fight for the gag order to be lifted at the exact same time. That would say a lot. But Steve is too stuck. His ego is too up there. He'll never do it. As much as he wants the gag order lifted, he will never lower his ego enough to do the right thing. That's the sad part. Because they could easily come together and get that damn thing lifted. Will he be able to? He should look at this and be able to see they only have this touch DNA. And just like Cy Ray has said, and just like Payne and Mowry have come out in court and made very clear, there's really not a lot of anything at all when it comes to what they can actually use. So there's that. Yeah, he's going to be able to see. He's going to be able to see all of it. Now, nothing has been switched over yet. Hopefully by this weekend, we have a more clear view about all the documents and stuff like that, where exactly they're going to be posting at. I don't understand why they wouldn't still post in Latah County, considering it's a Latah County case, but they probably won't. Everything is going to end up being posted in Ada County. Now, apparently, according to people that live over the pond, they've been trying to get on certain websites and certain things for Ada County, and you have to have a VPN and be in the United States in order to access it. So if you're overseas and you can't get into it, it's because you need a VPN. And my sponsor Aura has that for you. So there's that. But I also have referrals for Nord. So whichever floats your boat if you don't have a VPN and you need one. Let's see, what else did y'all have to say? Venue limitations. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Like physical limitations? I know I saw a video. Somebody posted a short on Twitter of what the rooms look like here, and they don't look that big. Like the courthouse itself is huge. I'm going to show you. If I can click back on here without making a mess. Okay. So this is like, I'm going to zoom out. All right. This whole spot right here is the courthouse. It's giant. I mean, look at this thing. It's huge. Huge. That's all the parking. And honestly, let's see, where is it at? Right here. You know it's bad. Like, you know it's bad that you have a bad parking structure whenever you've had to take another person's YouTube video. Because if you click on this YouTube thing, like where it's actually at.
One key cards are.
I'm not going to play it. But it's from New Vision Productions. It's not even anything to actually do with Ada County. It's like somebody decided to put a video up on how jurors are supposed to actually park because the parking is so freaking complicated. But that's probably because it's just a big, big area. It is way bigger than Moscow. It is way, way bigger than Moscow. Hey, Legendary. I don't know what Freddy's is. What's the line like at Freddy's? What's that? No, he's still in the Lake Hall. I'll show you again. Right here. See? This is the Lake Hall County roster. He's still on it. He's still there. Which, honestly, the people that were thinking that he was moved prior to the document being dropped, honestly, that would have made the most sense. They've had a freaking week. Okay? They could have, but they didn't for some reason. Y'all, what is a Freddy's? Is that a burger place? That's the second person talking about Freddy's. I don't know what Freddy's is. I don't think we're going to see much else either, Telltale. I don't think we're going to see much else either, which sucks because I wish we could get some more definitive information to stop a lot of the crazy questions. I just want the questions to stop. There's Freddy's in Boise. Everybody's talking. Okay, look, now I'm going to have to freaking go to Google because ain't nobody telling me what freaking Freddy's is. Freddy's. It's a burger place. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. You know what? I've eaten there. I sure have. I sure have. They built one in my old town right before me and the kids moved. It was actually pretty good. The big kids had smash burgers today. Because I bring whichever two kids stay home and I take the one kid out on a date, they get food back. Best chili cheese dog ever. I'm gonna have to try that. See, look. See, both Julias didn't know what the hell was going on. It's a burger place. I can't go now. I don't live by one. I don't live by a Freddy's. I've had a Freddy's. I just had to figure out what it was because I've only been there like once. Fonzie's cousin. Someone's at your door at 8:45 Central Time and didn't tell you they were coming, I wouldn't be answering. Let me know you're alive. Jeez. I mean, they're better than Whataburger, and that's coming from a Texan. Just saying. See, and that grand jury indictment bothers the crap out of me. It already bothered me because of how long it took. That's why I have so many questions. Because he was arrested in January and they didn't do crap about it until May. And I'm just like, why'd you take so long? And then to come out and hear, oh, 6 people needed more information. If 6 people needed more information with the grand jury and it's completely one-sided, could you imagine how underwhelmed this jury is going to be with both sides whenever the state already has people being like, we're hungry for more and you can't deliver? That's a problem. And then the defense is going to come in and feed those people information that backtrack everything that the state just said, and the state's not going to have anything else to serve them. That's going to be cray. The new address, I give it to you right now. It is right here. 200 West Front Street, Boise, Idaho, 83702. I'll put it in the chat. That way you can go look it up. Hey, Allie. Sonics are pretty good. We make homemade smash burgers, but Sonics has one now. And so my big kids were like, they try to get me to get them to triple, bro. I was like, I'm not. Just because y'all think y'all big and just because you're taller than me does not mean you're going to eat a whole cow for dinner. You can get the double and get over it. They liked it. They liked it. I've had it, Twiz. I don't need to road trip it. Bro, I do not like Whataburger. Even if that makes me less of a Texan, cool. I don't like it. Yeah, I'm really hoping there's not. I hope that this is a more secure situation now that it's gotten switched over. I really do. 1 second. Okay. My kid needed me to do something. Yeah, we're going to, you know what? And so many people are asking about that. We're going to pull it up. I've already showed y'all. Let me get this off of here. Exit full screen. It's News Nation. But he says sleeve, but it's the same thing as a sheath. Sleeve, sheath, just a pit. It's the same thing as pecan, pecan, tomato, blah, de, blah, de, blah. Same thing. Go down here. See where it be. OMG. Like he literally, it was just here. Like, where is it? That's not it either. There it is.
I couldn't figure it out. I was trying.
All right.
Which is Boise.
Give me headphones. Ugh. Okay. Okay. Now he does say sleeve and he does do his boo-boo, but I'm telling y'all, he does this crap on purpose.
We don't know for sure. It's going to be up to the Supreme Court, Ashley, of Idaho. They're the ones who will have to make the decision. But the judge pretty much laid out.
Yeah, we know. See, actually, in this video, even Brian Inton was confused about what's going to happen. Like, if you listen to all this part beforehand that we're not going to listen to right now, he even's like, that's what I'm trying to figure out, too. I don't know if the new judge is going to take over now, if they're going to move everything now. Like, He's been reporting on this stuff for a while, and even he was puzzled. And Yoli over on Andrew Meyer's channel, I was actually talking back and forth with her on her channel, trying to figure it out, because she actually did a video citing the laws that they were most likely going to be, citing in the document before the document came out, like over the weekend, before we had the official document.
You said, you got to be more aggressive. You guys have to be more aggressive. And they pushed back at us. And here we are 2 months away from 2 years, and they're resetting. So we were right. We told them they needed to be a little more aggressive, maybe a lot more aggressive, somewhere in the middle. And, here we are today, and we were right. But we can course correct. We can get this fixed. We can get the right guy in the right chair, and we can go from there.
This isn't the end. This isn't the end of the road. This is not over. This isn't because I take it to heart, like that's a win for them, and it's like tick for tack. But, other people in the family have different mentality than that. And, they say, Mom, you got to look at the bigger picture. You can't, it's not tick for tack. It's not tick for tack.
That's interesting. I know you didn't. Why'd you do that? Thank you, Chris. I really wish you wouldn't have done that, though. Thank you. That's very sweet. I never heard them say that before. But you were already a member. You've been a member forever. What happened? Yeah, he's cool beans. Thank you very much. Very sweet. I don't understand why they're not taking what they're being told by their family members to heart. I don't. Because, hey, Anita. Because if other people are saying in the family, saying, hey, no, it's not bad. This is not tit for tat. This is not a competition of who gets what and who doesn't. If the rest of the family can be that level. Hello. Why can't they be? I don't understand. They should be taking notes from the people that are telling them, hey, it's not like this. That's not what's happening here. Y'all need to calm it down. You should be listening to them, Christy. Is that it? Is that all you're going to say?
So you can imagine, Ashley.
No, where's the sleeve thing?
For them and for the other
That's
victims,
crap. Where's the sleeve thing? Is this not the one?
To think that now
you didn't say it.
A whole new venue. They don't know where it is. And on top.
This isn't the one? Did I miss something? Did he not say it?
If you guys have to be more aggressive, and they pushed back at us, and here we are 2 months away from 2 years.
It is that one? He didn't say it.
So we were right. We told them they needed to be a little more aggressive, maybe a lot more aggressive, somewhere in the middle. And here we are today, and we were right. But we can course correct. We can get this fixed. We can get the right guy in the right chair, and we can go from there.
This isn't the end. This isn't the end of the road. This is not over.
I know I heard him say it in this video.
I take it to heart, like that's a win for them,
There's another one.
And it's like tick for tack. But other people in the family have different mentality than that. And they say, Mom, you gotta look at the bigger picture. You can't, it's not tick for tack. It's not tick for tack.
I don't think we're going to have any delays. I'm going to go back and look for that video. I don't think we're going to have any delays at this point. I don't have a reason to think we're going to. Somebody commented, I'm going to look at my history real quick. Somebody commented that, hold on a second. Somebody commented that they were hoping that this wasn't going to cause delays in itself. And my response was, this is actually the opposite of that. Because, I'm telling you guys right now, this would have ended up being dumb if they wouldn't have done this. Because it would have gotten to jury selection. They would have realized that it was a ginormous mistake. Ginormous. And then they would have had to do this. And it would have probably gotten pushed back for a year. Seriously, it probably would have gotten pushed back for a year. I know I watched this, and I know I watched Steve's lips say this cray shit. Let's go back to News Nation now. Okay, let me see if I can find it. Or if somebody does want to send it to me. I know Donna, I think it was Donna, says she could send it at 1611. Oh, wait, I don't think it let you. Oh, no, shut up. Okay. Where is this? That's not it. That was from 7 hours ago. I also feel like I have this recorded, but I can't pull up my editor on here because it's not web-based. So it's a program, and I don't want to have all my like edits and stuff pop up. See, that's the one that we just watched. And Donna just gave me a timestamp of 1611, so it's got to be a longer one. Law and Crime had something on it last night. Someone actually called out the G's and said they needed to be educated in the judicial system, how long everything takes, etc. Yeah, I mean, it does take a super, super long time. I wish it didn't. I feel like it's a bunch of crap, honestly. I really do. I've said that for a while. I feel like they make it last longer than it needs to. I feel like they elongate crap just to cause more problems. It's complicated and just completely unnecessary. Complicated and unnecessary. Okay, it is on Law and Crime. Well, then that's where I need to be. So they must have just like interviewed with multiple people in the same outfit, because he's totally wearing that exact same shirt when he says what he says. Let's see. Oh, wait, is that it? Oh, I found it. Okay. I didn't want to show my screen because I don't want everybody to see what I've been looking at for my videos. I don't like people taking my ideas. And people like taking my ideas. Here I be. Okay, that's not even my right one. Is that it? Okay, there we go. Okay, I found it. I'm pretty sure this is it right here.
Actually, about a year ago,
I don't
I found a video that changed.
Oh, God, you're so exaggerative. Okay.
Exposed to publicity, you're more likely to render a judgment of guilt.
It's time to like put
This a bombshell.
What do you say?
You guys playing little.
If you get exposed to publicity, you're more likely to render a judgment of guilt.
It's time to like put your foot down and say, okay, the way you've been doing it isn't working. I'm not going to risk my daughter's life over, you guys playing little games of not cross-examining and not doing the extra mile.
A bombshell.
Oh, so that must have been towards the state. I mean, her life is already gone. So I don't know why he's saying it like that. I'm sure he means it in the sentiment of like justice and trying to figure out what's really going on. It is strange wording.
Ruling in the Bryan Kohberger case. The judge
Hi,
not
American
only
Princess.
deciding the case will be moved out of Moscow, Idaho,
Okay, so
but also the
let's
judge
see.
indicating he wants off the case altogether. I'll break it down and get reaction from one of the victims'
Damn.
families in this special News
Break it down,
Nation
Brian.
soon, because there's all sorts of other. She's of course. Let me start with decision. I was in the studio last night
Here we go.
and spoke to them. Take a look.
Let me start with you, Steve and Christy. What was your reaction to this ruling from the judge?
I'll tell y'all what their reaction was before they even answer. Their reaction was to get on social media and send a message, copy paste to every single guilter creator out there that they've befriended from JLR to Forensic Frenzy. I answered it for you.
That there will be a change of venue, and then also that he is no longer going to be on the case.
So I actually heard those separately. They didn't come together for me. Somehow I got that the venue was going to be changed, but no location had been decided, or that the Supreme Court would be deciding that. So that was a little like, okay, disappointed. And then shortly after, I heard about the judge. So I was on the phone with Steve saying, have you talked to Shannon? And he's like, I just got off the phone with Shannon now, so I'll call you back. So, they kind of had a discussion with Olivia and Steve and Shannon. And then he kind of called me back, and I was kind of losing my mind a bit, like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is the end. We're losing control. But he kind of,
What the shit do you mean by that, Christy? You're losing control. What control did you have in the courtroom? You're a viewer. What do you mean you're losing control? It's an odd ass statement to make.
You know, after he got me in on their
Go ahead,
discussion,
Jerry.
you know, I think that it's all for the best and there's a silver lining. I think, you know,
I really tried not to. Like, y'all can go back, okay? Y'all can literally go back to my videos. One of the feds came out and was like attacking Steve in the very beginning of this. And my very first video was like, I got you, Mr. Steve. Like, we're not going to play this game. Leave the victims' families alone. But just like I was holding the torch for Bryan until we got more information, everything I felt about the Goncalveses slowly started changing. And now here we are. This didn't just happen out of nowhere.
getting rid of, we still don't know what county, so that still could be Nez Perce, could possibly be Kootenai County. And I think that I think the judge was in over his head, and I think getting a judge in that's way more decisive with a heavier hand and ready to hit the ground running might.
I hate that they keep using this stupid photoshopped photo. That is not real. They went in and enlarged his eyes, put darker stuff over the corners of his eyes and his eyelids, and then whitened the inside very creepily and inside the corner of his eye right here, like highlighter, to make him look creepier. This is not how this photo actually looks.
Be exactly what we need. Hopefully it doesn't delay things and we could just go.
Steve, were you, I was reading through your statement. I mean, have you been frustrated with the prosecution? Because I was at the last hearing when they had the change of venue hearing, and, you know, it does seem like the prosecution doesn't always push back a lot on some of these, you know, defense witnesses and defense arguments.
Yeah, we are a family of action. We are get-her-dones, you know, put the foot down to the metal.
You're get-her-done. Sweetie, you got a call from a family member that your daughter was pew-pewed and you sure didn't get her done by getting your ass out the house and down to Moscow. I'm telling you, these people like trigger something in me, bro.
And go. We went and hired Shannon. Thank God we have legal counsel, because if there's ever been a case where you need somebody that you trust and somebody you can work with, it's been him. Any family that goes through some tragedy like this, I highly recommend you find somebody that you trust, that really knows the ins and outs of that courtroom.
And you know, somebody made a freaking crazy point, and I mean, I've noticed it, but I honestly don't give a damn about her enough to care, but I'm going to make the statement anyway. Have you ever seen a mother of a child that died improve her physical look before we've even gotten like to justice and a person behind bars or any resolution at all? She went from having like the most meek little haircut. It was dark brown. She wore like normal makeup. She didn't try to stand out. And then all of a sudden she's boom. This is like the opposite. Opposite.
So we hit the ground first and we said, you know, you got to be more aggressive. You guys have to be more aggressive. And they pushed back at us. And here we are 2 months away from 2 years and they're resetting. So we were right. We told them they needed to be a little more aggressive, maybe a lot more aggressive.
See how his eyes aren't overly white right here and he looks normal? Like, how come they're still allowed? How come they're still allowed to show that crazy, scary looking photoshopped photo after all this mainstream media stuff? Like, the mainstream media apparently went out and removed the Goncalves' aunt or grandma, whichever it was, the family wearing those firing squad shirts, but they're still allowed to keep all their crazy shit out there.
Somewhere in the middle. And, you know, here we are today, and we were right. But we can course correct. We can get this fixed. We can get the right guy in the right chair, and we can go from there. And I totally have belief in the Idaho Supreme Court. I know that they're going to pick somebody that they trust, somebody that they're already.
Never. Your daughter went to that school long enough to graduate, and your other daughter lived in the house longer than your actual kid did, and you never even went there? Ever? I'd have been there all the time. I'm going to be wherever my daughter's at for school. constantly. They didn't even bother. Sad.
Already going to be well known about his cases and his work history. So everything that he puts down, it's not going to be questioned because they're not going to pick somebody with questionable past. So that'll be the best.
Do you know, Shannon, like I was looking over some of the deadlines in the case, like I think there's a November 7th deadline, a hearing for the death penalty issue that came, the defense fighting the death penalty. Like, so will it be a whole new judge now in a whole new courtroom for everything moving forward?
Well, I mean, as soon as they change the venue, like they pick the select and they tell us what county it's going to be in, I'm assuming that assignment will include a judge who will be presiding over the case. Obviously, all of the current decisions that have been made on.
Notice the blonde and the younger generation clothing. I mean, it might be a way that she's coping. I mean, I'll say that. It might be a weird way that she's coping, but just the simple freaking fact that they're going to sit here and tell us that they were apparently awake watching a football game, not just them, apparently multiple people, okay, meaning more than one adult in the home. One of them could have gotten off their asses and driven down there because it was hours before they even knew what was going on. And I know that people are going to be like, okay, but Maddie's mom was driving down there, and is that one of Kaylee's parents? Because she's got two of them, and neither one of them got off their asses and went down there whenever they got news from family. Okay, they didn't just see it on the news. They didn't get a phone call from a random stranger. They got a call from a family member, and they still didn't move. They just still didn't get up and go. Neither one of them. No.
On the case, he can either.
I don't even play these kind of games.
Stick with or go back. Normally they stick with the decisions that have been made and then anything moving forward. So all these motions that have been filed regarding the death penalty and some of the other aggravating factors, those will be decisions that this
probably Jack and all of her college friends, honestly,
judge makes on the case. And so, we're hopeful that will be either in Kootenai County or Nez Perce, because they're closer locations and there's competent judges that can handle these types of cases and just get this thing going. So,
and y'all know he had his bar like suspended a few times. This guy. It explains why he's intertwined in this boo-boo. Change the locks. That is something that we heard about Xana's dad changing the locks. I believe that the person that stated that maybe misquoted it or whatever. I'm not under the impression whatsoever that he changed the front door. I'm under the impression that he changed her bedroom door lock. That's how I've always understood it. I could be wrong. But to me, the landlord would be the one that has to come in and change the PIN code lock because the landlord also has to have the PIN code. Anytime that I've changed my locks before, I've changed them since I signed the mortgage. But when we were renting here before it was the other way, whoever's been here knows the whole situation. I changed the locks and had to give them a key. They don't have the key to the new one, but in the other place too, anytime we change the locks, we were supposed to give the key to the landlord. That's pretty much like normal. So whenever it's a PIN code lock, I guess he could have come in and changed it and they could have just like texted it over to the landlord. But I've just always been under the assumption that it was Xana's actual door, not the front.
And I know how hard it is, Christy and Steve, when you guys have to go to the hearings and kind of get like the lay of the land there and get to know the people. And I'm just thinking like you will have to, I guess, sort of reacclimate to
It wasn't her.
A whole new process.
It wasn't Tara. It was, are they married? Jeff's girlfriend, I guess. Jeff's girlfriend. Yeah.
Process.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of, the way you see Kohberger and where you sit. I mean, you've kind of gotten a little bit used to where you're at, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're prepared for that. We were just talking about that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to kind of retouch with this community, whatever community it is, and get to know this community as well. And hopefully we have the support.
Okay. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something, and y'all can take this how you want to say, how y'all want to take it. I have come out here and mentioned little things before that I am told by somebody who knows people, but I don't get into detail because I can't do all that stuff. I am being told that apparently the Goncalveses have already planned like some sort of flyer assault on Ada County, and that apparently it's very well known that they have a plan and that they're going to be getting like talked to, or they might have already been talked to at this point. The person who told me this has not been wrong about anything they've told me so far when it comes to what they hear from people in Idaho that are part of whatever's happening here. So, considering all the cray-cray crap that we've already heard, and them blatantly saying on national news that they've gone out and talked to the Latell County residents, it wouldn't surprise me at all if that was 100,000% factual. At all. Because look what she just said. Why the hell do you need to go and know that community? It's not about you and how you know them or how close you are to them. It is about the facts and them being as completely unbiased as possible. You going out and getting to know them, Miss Ma'am, is going to taint it the mo. So unless you want them to have to change the venue all over again because you want to go out there and be cray-cray, I suggest you just stay sitting in your house like you're good at. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do.
And the love that we do from Latell County, which, you know, I don't see why we wouldn't. And just depend on that community to support us. And like you said, learn the lay of the land and the courtroom. And, you know, that will take a bit. But hopefully he'll be in orange next time we see him. And he won't be in his fancy suit anymore.
Why does him get to wear a jail suit bother her so much? Jesus.
Well, yeah, they made such a big deal, Steve, of having him in the suit. I think the assumption was because it was going to be in that community.
Yeah, there was a strategy that we were somewhat made aware of, no promises or anything along those lines, but there was a strategy. We didn't necessarily agree with it, but you trust. You know, you put your trust in the people that have been in that room, and then when it just backfires, you know, it's time to like put your foot down and say, okay, the way you've been doing it isn't working. I'm not going to risk my daughter's life over, you know, you guys playing little games of not cross-examining and not, you know, not doing the extra mile. If the other side's going to be working till the very end, till an hour left of the courtroom, then you know what? You talk until the end and then we do it again. You know?
So basically what he's saying is he's impressed by how the defense is working. They're working their asses off, and he's not impressed whatsoever with Thompson. I mean, none of us really are, honestly. They didn't even bother asking questions. They didn't cross-examine anything. They didn't present anything. Like the chick, whatever her name is, I don't honestly care enough to remember her name. All I remember is Bill Thompson because he's the lead prosecutor. But she got up and talked for like barely any time whatsoever. It's literally like the defense's show over the past few hearings, but that's not the defense's fault. It's the state's. The state is not coming back with any rebuttal, and it's their job. Steve, it's the state's job to get all that together. Don't blame that on anything else. One sec. How in the world is he going to sit there and eat an entire pizza, a whole thing of french fries, a whole drink, get an ice cream from Sonic on the way home, and have mandarin oranges with his fries and pizza and come in here tell me he's hungry? Freaking black holes, these children.
And we don't give up. We don't quit. We don't take the easy way road out. And I kind of felt like we were being out hustled sometimes. And, you know, that needs to end, you know, especially once we get to trial time.
You are being hustled.
Were you surprised?
You're being hustled because the state's not telling you the truth. And whenever they are telling you, you're twisting it all up. Now, I don't understand how he can sit there and be so confident right here, but then send emails like he did over to Andrew Meyer about how the state's having problems trying to make any sort of connections or put anything against Bryan. How can you come out here and state that and then come on national TV and say this? So whenever it comes to somebody with a smaller audience, he'll be honest. But whenever he comes out here, he wants to placate it to try to get as much sympathy about falseness as he can. What a freaking weirdo.
Surprise, Shannon, that the judge wants off the case. Like, I guess, I don't know. I felt like he was kind of invested, like when I went to the hearings. Maybe I
Girl, I got two bigger than me. I already feel the pain.
had the wrong, you know, perception.
I think I was more surprised by the things that were mentioned in the order, how, deficient Latah County was in handling this type of case. And, a list of all of the.
I mean, it's crazy to think about it. Like,
these ads are so crap. Like, the acting in these ads are so shit.
Court clerks, the staff, the security, all the expenses, the privacy, the rooms that could be provided for the defense and the prosecution. And I was more surprised at that and how strong of a basis he used that in his order to grant the motion to change venue. And, these aren't issues that just happened yesterday. They've existed since the beginning of this case.
Yeah.
And so I was surprised that was really a strong basis for the change of venue. Was
just the simple fact that the freaking rooms are not soundproof. I'm sorry. You've obviously known that for a long time. Long time. Just this case alone, y'all have been able to embezzle over like $2 million. And yes, that's the word that I used. So why can't y'all fix the soundproofing problem? Hello? This isn't the only case you're ever going to hear ever. Fix it.
The deficiencies in Latah County that he thought that it could not handle a case of this size and this type of publicity. And I think the family feels like if that was his belief from the beginning, well, we should have jumped off the horse a lot earlier and got this going in a direction that's not as delay oriented. So
there are also those issues that you talk about that he talked so much about in the ruling are not really issues that came up much at the hearing. Like that wasn't a big part of the argument, but then it was a big part of his ruling.
Well, and
did they even really mention anything at all in the hearing whatsoever about the way that the courthouse was laid out? They might have. I stuff like that. That's just like technicals, I guess, don't stick in my brain very much. But I don't remember if they actually brought up the actual problems with the courthouse themselves.
The other thing, Steve and Christy and I have talked about it, is the missed opportunities for the cross-examine of the witnesses. A judge has to base his decisions on what's presented in front of him. And if you only present one side, that's what he has to believe. If I say that, that over there is a green chair and everybody sees that it's a purple chair, but I've shown that it's a green chair, and I don't come say, no, it's a purple chair, right? Then, they end up, the judge has to go with what they had an expert. He said it was a green chair. I guess it's a green chair, right?
That is the worst freaking example of what you're trying to explain you possibly could have come up with. This dude sucks. This dude sucks.
So, there was a lot of missed opportunities, I think the family felt like throughout this case, not just the change of venue motions, but any expert witnesses that have been presented in this case, the cross-examination, the family feels has been pretty slim to none.
No, Idaho, Chief. In the Idaho document that was written by the judge for his reasonings in the 20-page one, we found out about there being no soundproofing. Like, what the hell?
So.
And just my last question, Christy, I mean, you're such a strong family. And there's been so many twists and turns like that. I don't think anyone really expected along the way. I mean, how do you guys manage to hold it together so well?
Oh boy, it's not easy, but
as a mom, I should do better while you're sitting here talking to me with 420 in your username. Like, I'm supposed to take any damn thing that you say seriously. How about you try being realistic? Because that's what I am. I don't sit here and sugarcoat shit. I don't sit here and try to placate to you to make you feel better. I'm sorry if my honesty makes you cry, but I'm not at the same time. Get out of here with your boo-boo. Ugh.
I've got him and the rest of the kids and our moms. And, we all hash it out together. We all cry together and just, and we've got Shannon to get on the phone, big group calls and figure it out. And we always try to find the silver lining. And
you see how he goes to smile and then he catches himself and straightens his face up? It's like he purposely has to think about it and say, oh crap, I'm smiling. I got to tone it down. Watch his
Strong
face.
family. And there's been so many twists and turns like that.
Look at him. He's just
I don't
staring at her
think
for, like,
anyone really expected along the way. I mean, how do you guys manage to hold it together so well?
Oh boy, it's not easy, but I've got him and the rest of the kids and our moms. And we all hash it out together. We all cry together and just and we've got Shannon to get on the phone.
And by the way, that idiot that was just in here running their mouth literally had to subscribe and wait and listen to shit that apparently they hate and have all kinds of problems with for at least 5 minutes before they left a comment. People need better hobbies.
Big group calls and figure it out. And we always try to find the silver lining. And, like, this isn't the end. This isn't the end of the road. This is not over. This isn't a, because I take it to heart, like that's a win for them, and it's like tick for tack. But, other people in the family have different mentality than that.
8 Sleep's
Which is
brand
good.
new HUD 4.
I'm actually like I said before, I'm glad to hear that because that means that maybe some people aren't as ridiculous as the two that we constantly see. That's a plus.
And, they say, Mom, you got to look at the bigger picture. You got, you can't, it's not tick for tack. It's not tick for tack. And sometimes I'm kind of simple minded like that, but I got to talk to the kids and they grounded me and bring me back down, and Steve does and Shannon does.
You're not going to sit here and try to make me believe at all that Steve calms you down. I know damn well he's right there instigating stuff. Now the big kids telling her to chill out a little bit, maybe. I don't really see that coming from Olivia, but I'm just going to leave my opinion out on that.
I just got to keep talking to them and listening to them and have them help me out.
I remind her that there was DNA evidence found on the sleeve underneath the leg. That
DNA evidence found on a sheath underneath a leg. Yeah. Sleeve, sheath. It's honestly the same thing, guys. He just is using a weird word because I don't know if he's doing it on purpose so that it can like get people's attention. But yeah, a knife sleeve, a sheath, it is all the exact same thing.
To them and have them help me out.
I remind her that there was DNA evidence found on the sleeve underneath the leg. That good luck.
And the fact, just the fact that he sits here and says underneath a leg, what is it, a drumstick? What you mean? Like you couldn't say underneath Maddie's leg on the bed? Like why couldn't you have put some like humanization onto that?
Bring it on. Don't be
way
scared
to
of
say
this. I mean, it's the pinnacle of evidence. Nothing is
Is he about to say nothing is stronger than DNA? Because I'm going to scream.
Stronger than DNA. If it's 100% science-based, and we've got 5 billion reasons to think that we have the right guy. So let's go. Let's stop delaying. Stop playing games. Get the right person. Let's get this going.
So you can imagine the frustration.
Go away, Bryan. That's not what I wanted to do. The wrong one. I don't know how to do this. Okay, there I am. It's just so dumb. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. I don't understand why Chris McDonough hasn't been more honest with him. Like I said, I regret not being able to explain to Kara more about the way that this DNA stuff really works. I do. I should have sat down with her since I had her phone number. I should have sat down with her and tried to explain it to her because she's the one that I spoke with. She's the one that I personally had conversations with. Okay. Chris McDonough and like several other people that are out here that have real expertise. Nancy freaking Grace. Okay. Joe Scott Morgan. I like Joe Scott Morgan personally. I listened to his podcast and stuff years and years ago. I've been listening to him forever. I don't like the fact that he goes on Nancy Grace so much, but hey, if I was out there trying to get stuff out there, whatever, he doesn't always agree with her either, which I like. He doesn't always placate to Nancy Grace. Anyway, all those people could be honest with them. Exactly. All of these people could be honest with them and explain to them what touch DNA really is. And explain to them that they're sitting there on that couch, hugging and touching all over each other while spreading like probably over a dozen people's other DNA from them. Like all their hugging and touching and stuff is literally just spreading other people's DNA to each other. Like wherever Steve just went, whoever's hand he just shook, whoever's DNA that he picked up whenever he was at the store, he just now got it all over his wife. So there's other men's DNA on his wife right now. I wonder how he feels about that. That's how it works. That's how it works. So I wish people would make him understand that. I really do. But it's like nobody wants to sit here and explain to them the truth of it. That's why you are getting bamboozled, Steve. You are getting freaking hustled because they're not being honest with you. And like they might look, I know for a fact they don't like me. I know for a fact they don't like me. Daniel from Drunk Turkey drunkenly, mistakenly made a comment under a video that I did talking about the interview that he did with Christy. They didn't like me back then. And he put a comment saying that I was one of the few that they already didn't like. And then he deleted it. But a lot of people saw it. I don't care. Don't like me. You don't like me because I'm not going to sit here and baby you. You did not get up to go check on your child. How am I supposed to feel sympathy for you? You got a call from a family member and you didn't leave your freaking house. You sat there for hours. I'm not going to feel sorry for you, bro. I'm just not. I'm just not. It's just so annoying. It's so super annoying. Soto? I've heard so much about that case that I feel nauseous every time I see her name. If street justice and the universe doesn't take care of that situation, then I have no faith in anything. No faith in anything. I agree. I agree. It's just crazy. All right, let me see. I wanted to show you guys just a few things. Oh, that's not what I want to do. I want to show you guys just a few things that Sleuthy Goosey found on Twitter about some of the cases that what's his face? What's his name? Stephen Hippler. Okay. She posted a couple of things. Sleuthy always ends up going in and digging up all kind of stuff. And it really wouldn't surprise me if she ends up going in and finding a whole bunch more. She's really, really good at finding a bunch of case stuff. But she went in here and she found a couple of different cases. A 24-year-old named Marianne Nikochimus was sentenced by Judge Hippler on 3/1/24 to 20 years in prison with life indeterminate for hitting a woman named Elizabeth Sorg with his vehicle and killing her. And then he ordered a man named David Randall to serve 25 to life in prison for the brutal 2019 slaying of 56-year-old Darla Fletcher when he entered her home, tortured her over 50 times with a screwdriver and a drumstick. Like the musician one. Holy shit. He noted Randall's striking lack of remorse for his horrendous crime, saying that Randall still presents a grave danger to the community. I guess so. Eric Osuna, a Meridian father who pleaded guilty to murdering and abusing his 9-year-old son, will spend life in prison after being sentenced by Judge Hippler. He called it unspeakable, unforgivable, and evil. I mean, those sound like they deserve what they got. Okay, this one bothered me. Because we already have issues with U of I, right? We already have issues with U of I. Okay. 2 former Boise State University student athletes who accused school officials of failing to stop a star male track athlete from harassing female teammates reached an out-of-court settlement with the university back in 2015. Judge Hippler dismissed the case. With prejudice, which means the plaintiffs cannot file another suit with the same claim. So right off the bat, he sounds like somebody who takes up for schools. And that's already a big, huge issue that we have in this case is the U of I. So that's a problem. Big, huge problem. I don't really think there's anything else that I had pulled up. I had just, I'm going to put the link for his YouTube channel right here so that you guys can click on it and I guess maybe watch it. I don't know what's going to end up happening here. I have no idea what's going to end up happening here. This might not be nothing. It might just be sitting here for no reason and it might not do nothing whatsoever. But I'll refresh this. This is this right here. If y'all want to keep an eye on if he leaves Latol. That's the website right here that I just posted. What the shit are you talking about? What? There has been no autopsy released. What do you mean? I don't understand what you're talking about. They never released autopsy results. They gave us vague descriptions and then we got some third-party information about the toxicology, so I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah. Who the fuck said I knew it all? Okay, you can go too since you want to be stupid. Like, I don't have time for these idiot people. Like, seriously, y'all need to, like, get a for real, like, job or a hobby or therapy or something. Jesus. And see, that DNA thing really just bothers me regardless because of the way that they said they had to put it together. And then it automatically bothers me because we were originally told they didn't find any DNA. They found nothing. Nothing. And then all of a sudden, they have a profile they can do all this stuff with. Oh, I know she is. And she comes over from channels, and she's also one of the people that helped Bullhorn Betty fake a lot of shit that Steve Fisher came out and exposed. I know exactly who you are, wandering orphan. Play with me. Play with me. Yeah, nobody knows. I'm guessing just like everybody else. And I always say that. And I literally say constantly that I don't know 100%. I'm going off of what we know so far. That's it. And I try to be as honest as I possibly can about what I do see because so many people read stuff or share information and it's misconstrued, it's incorrect, it's false for clicks and views and shits and giggles. And I don't play that game. I don't play that game in real life. I don't play that game anywhere. Ever. Yeah, there was a missing, I'll just run it down real quick. There was a missing persons case and her and Bullhorn Betty got together and orchestrated a sighting of this girl at a Dollar General and the cops got called and everything. The surveillance footage and everything got pulled. The girl was never there and it was just her and she was over there causing all kind of crap and it was all a lie. Yeah, that's where she came from. But he got into it with her too, so she don't go over there anymore either. She burns her bridges everywhere she goes. I know she's still hearing me and I don't care. I'm not playing these stupid games. This is why I stopped going to people's channels and dealing with stupid stuff. I know. Sick freaks. And then they want to sit here and they try to be still in the true crime community. You are a nuisance. You are no better than the people that caused victims. Get out of her. I think it's time to play these goddamn games. But yeah, that's what I wanted to show you guys. I just wanted to show you just a couple of things that I pulled up. I know that there's going to be channels that do more deep dives on this judge. But again, the only thing that I really care about is how he does his procedures. I want to know how he handles the cameras, how he handles witnesses, how he handles his courtroom. Because at the end of the day, guys, at the end of the day, the jury decides. The jury decides whether he's guilty or innocent. And if he is guilty, they're going to decide whether he gets the death penalty. The judge doesn't make that call. Yeah. I sure do. Her trial is starting in October. I was asked if I was going to cover it, and I'm not. I'm not going to cover it. There are a lot of other channels out there that have been able to keep up really, really well with Quentin's case. And I haven't been out here updating every little thing. There are channels like Melissa and Brooks channels. There's a few. There's a few. They've been out there doing the updates. I don't need to be out here streaming and covering the trial if I didn't keep up with the case every little step of the way. To me, that's not my place. Not my place. It's just not. I will watch it, but I will not be streaming it. I will not be streaming it. So yeah. I think that's probably it though. Melissa Jade, yeah. Yeah. Her and Shay Benet get on and talk about it, and a couple other channels. Whoever is going to be streaming it, wherever I'm going to be watching it, I'll tell you guys. I can give you a channel, but it won't be quick. I go to anytime I need a deep dive on a case, I always go see if Grizzly True Crime is covering it. Seriously, I always do. I always go see if she's covering it. If she's covering it, she's the channel that I watch for everything because she pulls it all. She pulls every single document from every single thing, and she has no problem sitting there and reading all the footnotes and all the things that I won't read and I pass over. She goes over there and she does it. She does it great. Yeah, I love her. She's literally, I've told her this 1,000 times. If she reminds me of if Bones from the TV show and Snow White had a baby, then that's her. Yeah. It's not one of my besties. You don't? I know some people don't like her. I love her. I've loved her forever. I aspire to be like her. I think she's awesome. She's written books on stuff. I think her dad was like really high up in law enforcement or something. I love her. I think she's great. Yeah, I love her to death. I think she's awesome. Grizzlies, they are. They are very dangerous. Oh, yeah. You're going to be far from it now, bro. You're going to be far from it now. I just thought about that. Yeah. Yeah, I watch his channel. He does drone flying, or it's some sort of program. It's some sort of program that he uses, but he does like flights and stuff, and sometimes he'll do it for the cases that she's covering. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, she really stays out of it. She really does. Like I've had conversations with her a couple of times a long time ago about like certain things, but she really does try to keep like everything off of her channel for show. For show. Oh man. I don't know it off the top of my head, but I'm pretty positive that his channel is in her description box or something like that, because that's where I found it. But also the Defense Diaries is really, really good with Delphi. It's been a minute since I've looked at Delphi stuff. What is that one girl's name? Unraveling? Is that it? There's a really, 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 really pretty blonde girl that does a podcast or some sort of live show where she has a show with like a couple of other people and a guy. I don't remember their names, but I can find out. I'll share some stuff. Criminality does good too. True facts. True facts. I love Grizzly. Due to my hearing disability, her accent is really difficult. I can understand that. I definitely understand that. I understand that. I mean, it's all real toxic because it's funner for humans for some reason. I don't really quite understand it, which is why I just don't want to like... I don't know. I have my opinions about stuff, but I just can't. I just can't. I used to really like true crime design until she took the stuff about that fake Dot person. Even after Dot was found to be fake, all of it, the truth, her coming out, admitting she was fake and everything, she still ran with it and did this huge video about it. after it had already been debunked that got like, I don't know, 200 and something thousand views. And all she did was bring all the dot boo boo back to life after it was already gone and handled. I don't like that. I mean, they can be passionate about stuff, but whenever you're going to purposely bring up something that's already been debunked just because you want to bring up more drama for your channel to get views, that's not cute at all. Thought Riot? I don't know. People have been asking me that, and I'm not really sure. I heard something about they were going to be gone for like maybe like 2 weeks. And then they just, I guess, never came back. I don't know. Brandon, that's his name, right? Brandon. He had reached out whenever I needed some help with helping another lady with getting one of her videos together. It was like an iPhone problem or whatever. But I don't know what happened to them. I have no idea. No idea. Well, I mean, that doesn't bother me. Just because it's her opinion. Like, I don't have problems with creators that have like a difference of opinion as me. It's how they come about it. Now, I know that I am not everyone's cup of tea, and that's fine. I don't like being for everybody. That's fine. But I'm totally fine with people having differences of opinions. It's totally okay. I'm not either. Crime sleuthing. I should have asked her what the hell she was even going to talk to Kara about, because what she was showing her wasn't even pictures of Xana. It was like pictures of Dylan and Bethany and every freaking body else. And it was just the oddest thing. Oddest thing. Oh, they have to. Have to. Well, I mean, it's also discussions with you guys. That's why, like, I don't have videos this long. But whenever I get on a live, like, I used to be like, how can y'all sit there and talk for hours and hours and hours? Why are you on a 4 or 5 hour live? I see how easy it is. When you have people asking questions and people that you can, like, do this with, yeah, I can see. Yeah, I'm about to climb off here, too. Have a good night. Have a good night. Yeah, like you can be a guilter if your mind is open. It's the blind ones are the problem. Yeah, like as long as you know, like I will switch and be a guilter if the proof shows me to be a guilter, guys. I was a guilter whenever he was first arrested. Now I'm not. I can switch back once the evidence tells me that I need to, because that's what the evidence tells me. But that's not what the evidence is telling me. At all. We don't know if they're not. Venus. Why hasn't the state tried finding the knife if Bryan is the guy? Like negotiating taking off the DP if he told them where the knife is. We don't know if they haven't tried that. Because if they really do believe that he's guilty, they probably have tried that before. But if he's innocent, he doesn't know where the hell the knife is. He got no clue. Yeah, just be fair. Be fair and open. And look, there's plenty of things. As much as I am on the they're not doing enough to prove it to me train, there's still some things I question. I'm very open about those questions. You guys all know about all the crazy stuff that I question. So yeah. Yeah, I might find the email if I have it. I clean out my email box a lot and email him and see if they're okay. You should, even if it's just you putting your opinion out there. You never know how many people that you might be able to talk with about it. You think it won't? You think it'll push back? I don't believe it will go to trial next year. I mean, some people are asking that because we don't really know what's going to end up happening now. That's why I was asking, like, could they go back and try to file for the grand jury indictment to be dismissed now that we have a new jurisdiction and a new judge? Could they go in and refile all the things that Judge denied and try again with this guy? That's what I don't know. And Idaho rules are strange. That's why Yoli was having an issue trying to figure out what exactly it meant, because Idaho's laws are odd. They're very strange. Hey there. Yeah, I'm not convinced, guys. I'm really just not convinced. That was back whenever I was less confident. Now y'all can tell I don't give a damn. But yeah, that was back in the beginning. I've looked. He does have some stuff Delphi videos. I forgot to look at his lives. Who are you talking about? Yeah, I did see that. Other lawyers called Judge Hippler the hanging judge. I did see that. And look, I'll say it like this. If he was the one deciding this, that still wouldn't bother me too much as long as I knew that he was looking at the evidence for what it was. Because if Bryan is guilty, he deserves what he gets. Okay. But if he's not guilty, then he doesn't deserve any of this. So that's why like the judge thing doesn't bother me, because if this was a judge decision, as long as he had an open mind and knew what the hell he was looking at, then it wouldn't bother me that he was a harsh punisher, because this needs harsh punishment. This needs the harshest of punishments. But it's not him that gets to decide anything. So even if that is his reputation, he's not making the decision. He's not making the decision. So what is it? It'd make a difference if the dates were wrong. 12/29/22 Washington State University versus what? Oh. No, probably not. I mean, look how much crap has been wrong in all these court documents that we've read. It probably wouldn't. A lot of people do. A lot of people still think he's under some sort of like, what you call it? Like he's not an informant, that he's a like undercover, that he's some sort of undercover, and it's all crap. Bro. Seagull is freaking crazy, scary, weird. How is she a judge? She's like the most unfair person I've ever seen. Insane. Yeah. Walking right by one and you don't handle that situation before you leave? That's a bit odd. Not that I'm upset that anybody survived, but that's just crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. Okay. My dog is snoring. Boomy. Boomy. He's dreaming about something. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get off of here, guys. Yeah. And I am going to be covering it again because we have the report back from her vehicle. And I was given the unredacted version. I have it. I'm not going to show it. It's nobody's business. It's pretty underwhelming. It's underwhelming because her computer in her vehicle was so damaged they couldn't get anything off of it, apparently. And we waited for so long. We expected it to be better. We expected it to have like real detail and better stuff in it, and it just doesn't. It's underwhelming as shit. But it's important. So we're going to go over it because we've waited forever, and I've been emailing CHP forever, and we finally have it. So definitely going to be, yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah, it is. I don't give a damn what anybody says. That baby was not breathing when she went into that water, and no one's going to change my mind. No one's going to change my mind. But I'm going to go ahead and jump off of here because I need to go watch an episode of Dexter. Ariel's waiting on me. So that's it. Oh, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you for joining the Insanity Club. Yeah, underwhelming as shit. Yeah, crazy. Thank you for joining. And thank you guys for being here, for having this little discussion with me. We all knew this was moving. We're glad to see it happen so we can see some fairness. Now it's time to see how this plays out. Oh, of course. That's my buddy. That's my buddy. I did. And I very much appreciated it. He's a sweetie. 1 second. Okay, his stuff is done. He's ready for me to take it out and feed him now. I'm going to get off. You guys have a great night. Thanks again for being here. We'll talk more about all of this stuff, and I will definitely let you guys know when and if I notice that Bryan gets moved out of Latah. Don't forget I dropped those links. Good night, guys. See y'all.